Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Guman-Singh. Topping our newscast tonight, the St. Croix Teachers Union is rejecting the Department of Education's handling of vacation compensation for the new school calendar, as we reported on Thursday. Union leaders are calling for the Senate to step in to either find the money to pay teachers for those proposed vacation days or delay implementing the new calendar. News2's Erica Parsons has more.
We're not asking for any new monies. It's not any new monies, but we don't want any vacation days.
The teachers union wants their members to be fully paid for the current school year if they have to start the new school year early.
Because what you're doing is extending the school year for my membership. And clearly we are not in agreement with that.
The school calendar for 2014-2015 is still being finalized, according to education officials, but school will start August 11th, 2 weeks earlier than usual, and end on June 5th. It's mandated by a new law which says the first semester has to end by December 23rd. Because teachers are paid over 12 months for the 10-month school year, they would lose some pay. To compensate for the early start, officials have added 2 vacation weeks.
They're plugging in another week after the carnival break on St. Croix, and then they have another week during carnival, and we're not embracing that at all. Our teachers are saying, give me my monies up front. I want my monies. I don't want anything to incur, because the government has a tendency to want to owe, and we are not into the retro business.
Education officials said they've had to be creative to revamp the new calendar so students can get the required hours and teachers can get their developmental days. And while they understand union concerns, their first priority, they say, is to the students. Union officials agree, but demand payment for the days they will already work or delay the new calendar.
I have asked to bargain. I've made demands with the Office of Collective Bargaining, who have jurisdiction over issues like this one before us relative to the vacation days, because we need to come to some amicable agreement.
Soto Thomas said Chief Negotiator Valdemar Hill responded, and he has no plans to bargain with the union before the wage opener at the end of May.
One has nothing to do with the other. I think it should be cleared up so parents could know and my members could know exactly where we stand relative to their vacation time.
Union leaders are also calling on the Senate to find the money to help education meet their obligations.
If you want the revised calendar, then you need to pay for it. Based on my knowledge and what has been presented out there in the community, there's no quick fix to this problem relative to the funding. So talk to the union. Talk to the union, because you're not in a position financially to even honor my members' wish for lump sum pay, should that be the case. But, you know, if they're playing hardball, then the union plans to stay right there and we will play hardball.
Meaning if they're not paid when the school year starts, teachers won't be reporting to work. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Governor Gregory Francis recently met with President Barack Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, representatives of the Department of Health and Human Services, other senior administration officials, and members of the National Association of Insurance Commissioners to discuss 2015 enrollment under the Affordable Care Act and other issues in Washington, D.C. The high-level meeting was called by the White House in preparation of the 2015 open enrollment period and to provide a platform for regulators in states and territories to discuss ongoing healthcare challenges in their respective jurisdictions. President Obama charged the administration's Health and Human Services Secretary and Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Administrator to look into all the issues. Police on St. Croix are investigating a single-car accident that resulted in the death of a 22-year-old female driver. The accident occurred just east of the Wynn Museum on the Queen Mary Highway just before 1 a.m. on April 25th. The driver has been identified as Janessa Armstrong. Police said Armstrong was driving a 2006 Toyota Corolla when she hit a utility pole and trees off the shoulder of the eastbound lane. The vehicle burst into flames after the impact. 2 Good Samaritans pulled the victim's body out of the car. EMTs on the scene said the victim had no vital signs. No one else was in the vehicle and no other persons or property was damaged, according to the VIPD. WAPA continues to work towards being a more efficient plant to become compliant with the EPA. During its regular board meeting Thursday, members voted to allow WAPA to order the spare parts necessary for equipment in both plants to stay compliant under a consent decree with the EPA. That runs a total of nearly $144,000. The board also approved a major overhaul of the Unit 17 gas turbine on St. Croix. The project will be done in 3 phases and is budgeted for $2.6 million. The repair of Unit 17 and then subsequent inspection will ensure that the unit will be ready for the conversion to propane. Meanwhile, the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority has scheduled an emergency road closure for Saturday, April 26th from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the upper hospital ground area on St. Thomas. Crews will lay concrete to repair the roadway that was excavated to install a fire hydrant and an automatic flushing device unit. During the repairs, the roadway from the Bethel Baptist Church to the intersection by Bucky's Place will be closed to vehicular traffic. Motorists are asked to observe signs and flaggers' directions. The area will be accessible to pedestrians. No water interruption is anticipated during this time. The authority apologizes for any inconvenience caused by this road closure. While there is interest in purchasing St. Croix's refinery, senators met with Governor DeYoung Wednesday and were given an update on the status of the sales process for Hovenza. Senators told the Daily News that specific details weren't discussed because of the confidential nature of the process. They were told, however, that there are potential buyers who will soon begin to inspect the plant. Late last year, Hovenza retained the global investment banker Lazard to handle the sale of the refinery. Hovenza attorney George Dudley told the Daily News that he forwards any interested buyers or parties to Lazard, and the company vets those potential buyers, after which they are invited to tour the refinery and submit their bid to buy the refinery if they're still interested. In other news, Senator Kenneth Gitton said he special ordered Bill number 30-0357 to allow the VI election system to have early voting. However, he says he did not support Senator Cole's amendment that he introduced calling for new voting machines. He says it's wasteful spending of diminishing taxpayers' dollars during these hard economic times.
For crying out loud, we have a $40 million shortfall, we're told by the administration. We have persons who have retired and can't get paid. We have those who want to retire and can't go. Our law enforcement agencies can't get their pay raises. Our teachers can't get theirs either. We have all these old working voting machines sitting in storage. We have new voting machines that we haven't even given a chance yet. And we want to buy more voting machines. We need to be fiscally responsible.
Also in other news, St. Croix Senator Alicia Chucky Hansen successfully attached an amendment to Bill 30-0336 that gained the full approval of senators present during session on Thursday, April 24th. Senator Chucky Hansen's amendment grants $300,000 to the American Legion Enrique Romero Nieves Post 102 to construct a new facility on St. Croix. Senator Hansen has been pushing for a new facility for Post 102. She says, especially after Property and Procurement evicted the group from the facility that had been using, citing the need for repairs. Turn our attention stateside. Police in Connecticut are investigating a stabbing at a high school that has left a teenage girl dead. Investigators are looking into whether a rejected prom invitation was the motive. CBS's Jerica Duncan has details from Milford.
Jonathan Law High School in Milford, Connecticut is now a crime scene. A 16-year-old girl was stabbed to death there Friday morning.
There was an altercation between 2 students where a male student, a 16-year-old male student, assaulted a 16-year-old female student.
Police are investigating whether the suspect stabbed the girl after she turned him down for the junior prom. A member of the school staff witnessed part of the attack inside the building and tried to help the wounded girl. The victim is identified as Marin Sanchez, a 16-year-old honor student. She was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital.
She was a 16-year-old junior, vibrant, very, very involved in Jonathan Law High School, an incredible contributor, someone who was loved and respected.
Students were sent home early while police pieced together what happened. The school also called off tonight's prom.
This evening was supposed to be our junior prom and post-prom. Those events are being postponed.
The teenage boy is now in police custody and on suicide watch. His name is not being released because he's a minor. Jerika Duncan, CBS News, Milford, Connecticut.
Keeping our eye on the economy, the credit rating agencies Moody's beat Wall Street expectations and saw a 16% increase in the first quarter profit. Moody's says the biggest increase came from the company's analytics division, which distributes research and data. Microsoft now owns Nokia's handset division. The devices and services part of Nokia will be known as Microsoft Mobile. Two companies were already linked. Nokia had adopted Microsoft's Windows Phone software for its smartphones. Here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all down. The Dow 140, Nasdaq 72, S&P 15. Coming up on News 2, they sang about everything that made the headlines in the VI. If you can think about it, there was a song. But one emerged as the winner. And because he retains the crown from last year, many are calling him a true VI soldier. Highlights from the VI Calypso competition is coming up. Well, since GERS announced their plans 2 weeks ago to sell Carambola Beach Resort and Spa, the retirement agency has already gotten numerous offers. GERS head Austin Nibbs said during a board meeting Thursday that the board has received at least 15 offers to buy the hotel. A formal invitation for bids hasn't been issued, but Nibbs said the interest has been from local investors as well as stateside companies. GERS plans to continue investing in Carambola until it's sold. The board approved the purchase of a new generator plus an engine for the current generator. Of course, it's time for our Carnival Corner. The soldier, Patrick Farrell, proved he is the king once again by capturing the 2014 VI Calypso competition crown. 11 Calypsonians took to the stage with the most creative lyrics. Most sang about the state of the VI, picking up the most talked about topics in the news. And here are some more results. Most improved winner was Solemnity. For political satire, The Mighty Pat. Social commentary, Brock Lee. Most humorous, again, The Soldier. Second runner-up, The Mighty Pat. And first runner-up, King Can.
For me and me ancestors, land that goes down, promoting their own interests and then putting the pockets up. Some don't remember the election day. And the winner of the 2014 VI Calypso and Steel
Congrats, King Soldier, and to all the Calypsonians. Now, April 25th, that's this evening, the opening of the Royal Palm Carnival Village, 6 p.m. at the Fort Christian parking lot with a ribbon cutting and ceremony which will be honoring Percival Percy Taylor and David D.D. Sharp Darson. Of course, that all kicked off earlier today, and a lot of people will be heading down to the village. Of course, each night there will be nightly entertainment at the village. Now on Saturday, April 26th, it's the Calypso Review, and Sunday, April 27th, many head to the waterfront to check out the water sports activities. But then later on that day, the sweet sounds of Steel Pan will be heard in and around the Lionel Roberts Stadium for the Steel Band Jamboree. Now, don't forget to tune in to News 2 on Thursday, May 1st for our Carnival 2014 news special. We look back at some of this year's events leading up to the grand finale at 7 p.m. and midnight. On Friday, another special will preempt our newscast. Plus, don't forget live coverage of the Children's Parade on May 2nd and the Adults Parade on May 3rd. And we are happy to announce CBS TV2 will be streaming both the Children's and Adults Parades. The link to the website is posted right there on your screen. We've also posted a link on our News 2 Facebook page. Well, be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.